Hello everyone, and welcome to Seminar 5 of the Change for Good programme. I hope you're doing well so far, and I'm sure that this session will really help you to put those changes in place and to start to question where you are at the moment and how change can happen much more easily. So, according to human needs psychology, there are 3 pillars that hold us up, that are the pillars for permanent weight loss. And these 3 pillars are the secret that allows some to experience that dramatic, permanent, natural weight loss, while others continue to yo-yo diet or find releasing any weight extremely difficult. So they're really important in sharing this with you. And this is something that comes from Tony Robbins and his program on how to be successful in changing long-term behaviour. So I hope you enjoy this. So the first pillar is your focus, and we've talked about this numerous times over the last number of weeks because we set our goals right at the outset, and I've been telling you how it needs to be something compelling and specific and something in your control. So I'm not apologising for mentioning this again, because I think repetition is the key to actually making these changes. So are you focusing on what is compelling and specific in really what you want to achieve? Or are you focusing on lots of things outside of your control? Are you crystal clear about what you want to experience every day? Because many of us just drift along from day to day and really don't make the changes that we want to. And this is because we're being pulled along by others' agendas mainly, or just being reactive rather than proactive. So are you excited about what you want to achieve? You came on this programme to make some big changes. Are you really clear about that person that you want to be? And are you committed to get that? Or are you fixated on fears or uncertainties, particularly things that are outside of your control, or things that may never happen? That's your first pillar. The second pillar is giving you the tools and the strategies, so the ones that work though. And you've been given lots of tools and strategies over the last 4 sessions, and what I want you to do is think about which ones really worked for me and which ones don't, because you're all individual. So we need to find out what's going to work for you as an individual person and an individual character and with individual with challenges. So what is your emotional focus? That will give us a clue as to whether you have the right tools and strategies and you're making the good use of them. Most of the time, how do you feel? Are you feeling sad, terrified, depressed, stressed, happy? What are you feeling most of the time? Could you be honest with me and say how you are feeling generally most of the time? The reasons we feel these feelings is because they meet some or all of our 6 human needs. And these are the 6 reasons why you do what you do. So I'm going to share with you those later, the 6 human needs, because I want you to see how you're delivering that to you, whether it's positive or negative, because we can deliver it in one or the other ways. The third pillar is then inner conflict. Now, if you're finding that you're not following through on some of the things that I'm giving you to do, then it's because you have some inner conflict. You may be saying, I really want to exercise, but I'm working such long hours, I don't have the energy. I really want to lose weight, but I'm surrounded by cakes and chocolates at work and it's too tempting. Or whatever your story is, please share them with me, because then I'll be able to help you. You just need to come up with an empowering, fun, smart strategy to overcome these conflicts, and we'll be going through that in a moment. So you need to change your state to do these things, and you've probably never really thought about this, but we can change our state quite quickly, almost instantly. And changing our state changes our emotions and our behaviours. So as you can imagine, that really affects one of those pillars in our success. So let's do this now. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to think how you would look, what you would say and how you would feel if you were in a state of hope. I hope I can lose weight this time. I really hope that this is the solution. I really hope I can do it. I really hope that I can avoid those foods. I really hope that this is going to be the time for me. I really hope that this is it. And now open your eyes. How did that feel? You know, even saying it, hope makes you feel a little bit like a victim. It makes you feel quiet. It makes you feel, oh my goodness, there's so much to do and I don't know, I just hope it's going to work. And our physiology changes. You know, I felt like I was leaning over. I felt that I didn't have the energy. I felt that it was all a bit of a waste of time. I felt that, you know, this is all too much effort. Now close your eyes and now put yourself in a state of certainty. I am certain that I am going to get to be the person that I want to be. I'm certain that I am going to achieve it this time. I'm certain that I'm going to really enjoy this process. I'm certain that I'm going to avoid those things in the office. I'm certain that I know that I can keep to this. I'm certain that I'm going to make some great choices. And now open your eyes. Even saying the word certain made me sit up, put my shoulders back, made my voice change, made my whole body change. I felt really motivated. I felt certain I was going to do it. So if we can do that just by using different words, then that changes how we feel, how we react emotionally, and how we behave. So changing your state whenever you need to is all that you need to be successful. You have to fake it. Your mind won't know, I promise you. You just have to fake it. If you don't feel energetic, I promise you, if you imagine standing on a beam of energy and imagine that going through your whole body for about a minute, if that, seconds probably, and say, I could have more energy, give me more energy, I have more energy, then just get out and do it. Get walking, do something that's going to make you feel as though you're achieving and your state is changing, and that certainty and that belief starts to grow inside of you. So change your belief. What was the leverage last time that you actually changed? So when was the last time that you lost or released weight? I'm sure most of you have been on this journey for a while. So most people don't come to me unless they've actually been on at least 1 or 2 diets before. So I tend to be the one who turns things around. Most people have been on some kind of diet before they see me. So remember the last time you lost weight. What made you lose weight that time? What was the lever? What was the leverage? What made it happen? What made you say, enough's enough, I'm going to do it this time? Was it a wedding? Was it a party? Was it a reunion? And you thought, there's no way I'm going to that reunion not looking my best. What was it? Was it something to do with your health? Or for some people, it gets to the stage where they say, I'm not going to go over that weight. And when I get close to it, that's it. I'm going to do something about it. It was definitely that for me. I didn't want to be over 13.5 stone. And when I got to 13.5 stone, I thought, God, get your act together now. This is the time that you're going to get that back to where you should be. And that was what made me actually make that change in my mind, to actually stick to it and say, no, I don't want that chocolate. No, that's not going to get me to where I want to be. This is where I'm going. This is the direction I'm heading in. I'm certain I'm going to do it this time. So if there's something else that you've actually achieved and you've stopped doing something for a long time, whether it's something like smoking, giving up sugar in drinks maybe, or maybe you've given up drinking alcohol during the week, or you've had maybe you've had dry January even, so something like that. Whatever it is, have you done something for a long time, and what then pushed you over the edge to make that change? What made you do that? So think about what it is, what things motivate you to make change, because this is what we need to grab onto that now to see what you can do to make change this time. Okay, what motivates you? So think about it now. And what is the price that you'll pay if you don't change? And if you don't create that healthy, vibrant body that you want? What is the price that you pay? How will it affect you? How will it affect your self-esteem, your confidence, your relationships, your work, anything around you? How will it affect your relationship with your children? How will it affect you long term? Because we need to be clear about that, because if that's what we're heading towards at the moment, we're heading in that direction of, we need to know what is that price that you could pay if nothing changes. So losing weight in a long-lasting way requires us to rewire our brain and to change our associations with pain and pleasure. And I'll talk about that now. So how to change a link from pleasure to pain. So at the moment, you've still got pleasure linked with certain foods or certain drinks, and that's why you continue to keep having them perhaps. You still link pleasure to certain behaviours, and that's why you don't want to change them. So if you really want to change from pleasure to pain, some of these behaviours, then what you need to do is really commit to it. You can do that in lots of different ways, and I'm going to give you some ideas here to give you that leverage to say, come on, this is too painful to stay where I am. I am going to move towards a much more pleasurable state, a much more pleasurable me. This is a great way to do it. You can write to me. You can write to me, and you can write to maybe a couple of people that you really respect. And just make a commitment to them or to me that you will do whatever it takes to create the body you deserve. You will do whatever it takes to create the body that you deserve. And you're certain of it, and you're committed to it. And if you don't, you're asking me and maybe a couple of people that you respect, they don't have to be close friends even, but you're actually committing to us. And you can imagine how that would feel if you don't actually achieve it. So most people don't commit to another person that they respect or feel an association with. So that's worth doing, and I really think that that's worth considering. The other way that you could do it is go to the butcher and buy a bag of fat, because you know how much fat you've got on your body, and I want you to carry that around with you maybe for 24 hours. Keep looking at it, keep saying, God, that's what's around my stomach, that's what's on my legs, that's what's on my arms, that's what's round my face. Or leave it by the fridge. If the fridge is your evil nemesis, if it's there because it keeps on saying to you, eat something that's in the fridge, or eat something that's in the cupboard, or every time you go past a certain shop you want to go in and buy something, if you've got that fat with you, I'm pretty certain that if you keep looking at that, you would think, yep, okay, maybe I will avoid it for the time being. Maybe at this moment I would rather steer away from that horrible fat and that pain and move towards something that's more pleasurable. This works for me. Strip off, look at yourself in detail in the mirror. Grab the fat, grab any fat, grab it and think, my God, that's disgusting. You know, they used to say, there was something on the TV when I was young that said, if you can pinch more than an inch, then you need to buy this. I don't even know what the advert said, but you need to do this. Pinch more than an inch. When did that start being the norm? You know, more than, it's handfuls now of fat. It's not inches, it's not an inch or less. It's more and more inches than that. So most of us get dressed, put our clothes on, put something baggy on, not look in the mirror as much as we can, and really, you know, not go shopping so that we actually have to look at ourselves when we're putting clothes on that we, you know, that might not look that attractive. But strip off, look at yourself in detail. Take a photo maybe if that's the answer. I promise you it will motivate you to change. Stop wearing elasticated clothes. As soon as elasticated clothes came in, yeah, I know they're comfortable, but they can stretch an enormous amount. So we still think that we're comfortable. We still think we're okay. And start wearing clothes that are too tight. Start feeling uncomfortable. Start feeling uncomfortable enough that you want to change. Start feeling uncomfortable enough that you're determined to change. Never buy a bigger size. Never go up a size, because I promise you, you will get to the stage where that is too tight. It never works the other way around. So move down a size, make it uncomfortable, build up that desire to actually make a change. So I mentioned earlier about the 6 human needs and the reasons why you do and I do what we do. So the first need is certainty, to be comfortable, safe, secure, and that can encourage eating and drinking, as you can imagine. So because they're comfort foods, they make us feel safe and secure, even if things aren't that wonderful in our life. But look at the rest of your life. Have you got certainty? Are you comfortable, safe and secure in other areas of your life? Another need, the second one, is uncertainty or variety. So striving for variety, interest and fun in our lives. And we need that because we need a variety of emotions every day. So do you have that variety, spice of life in your life? Have you got that in your life now? Significance, striving to feel needed, important, special or worthy. You know, do you feel significant? Do you feel needed? Or are you replacing that with food? The fourth human need, a need for connection, striving to connect and build strong social bonds and relationships. Connections move us away from loneliness and depression, but also they can make us susceptible to criticism and rejection because we feel like we need to be accepted and connected to other people, and that can make us a little bit vulnerable sometimes. But we like to be connected with social and relationship bonds. That's one reason why a lot of people stay in a relationship even if it's not a good relationship, because they feel that it's better to be in a relationship than not have one at all, because you feel connected. The need for growth, striving to grow as a person. So if you're not growing, then you can feel stuck, dissatisfied and unfulfilled. And lots of people stay in jobs or in relationships and feel stuck and dissatisfied and unfulfilled. So is that an area of growth as a person that perhaps is being fulfilled by food instead? Need for contribution, so to share and to give. They say to sow and you will reap. So sharing enhances everything that you experience. So the need for contribution is another need that we have. All of us have the same needs, but we can meet them in ways that are either positive or negative. So you can meet your need for certainty by deciding to believe in yourself. So being certain that you're going to do it this time. Or you can try to feel certain by keep eating unhealthy foods and staying fat. What behaviours or emotional patterns are you struggling with? Ask yourself, which of the 6 human needs am I meeting through this behaviour? When you understand that, you will then understand the deeper reason for your behaviour, and that's so important because understanding and acceptance are the only ways that we can change. So ask yourself, when you look at these 6 human needs, certainty, uncertainty, variety, significance, love and connection, growth and contribution, which do you focus on most? That top need is the biggest factor that controls your life. What do you think it is? And what do you do to meet that need? So if you look at that need, what is the most important need to you? Leverage. This gives you great power to make easy change because it's too painful to stay where you are, and it's far more pleasurable to make the change. That's the leverage. You've heard this, I'm sure, the definition of insanity, doing the same thing and expecting different results. When I have people who come into me and they say, yeah, I've had an okay week, did you stick to it? Well, I sort of went back to some of my old behaviours. That's insanity because you're expecting different results. And when you get on the scales with me, it's not going to be magic. Something has to change. You won't get different results unless something changes. Habits keep us in this insanity cycle. And we've got to break those patterns. And pattern interrupts need to be different, maybe a little bit crazy. And I'm going to share with you a few of those. But you also want the pattern interrupts to be enjoyable. So, finding alternatives and doing things that you really enjoy that take you away from those old patterns. So we need to interrupt them so that it's enough so that it changes your brain wiring. This is all about changing your brain wiring because then long-term change is inevitable and keeping the weight off is inevitable. So here are 6 steps to interrupt patterns for you. Whenever you focus on you move toward, so whatever you focus on, you move toward. If I say to you, don't think of the colour blue, yep, you think of the colour blue. If I say, don't think about donuts, you'll think about donuts. If I think about, oh gosh, I'm so fat and ugly, you'll think about being fat and ugly and fulfill that by eating the wrong things. Repetition is key, and that's why I repeat a lot of things on this programme, because lots of people know what to do, but they just don't do it, or they keep doing the wrong things. Repetition created the challenge that you have with your weight, and it's repetition that's going to change it. So we've got to keep repeating it. Those that fill in a food diary every week, I know are going to lose weight long term. Those that listen to my recordings every day or every week, I know that they're going to make change because they're committed to a pattern of change. The repetition is creating that change and overcoming the challenges. So leverage, linking something to pleasure and then empowering that alternative pattern and then using mental rehearsal until it becomes habit. And actually, it's interesting that repetition every day for 9 days can get a new habit ingrained into your mind. 9 days, is that nothing? But some people just don't do it. They just don't continue to do it. This is your time to make change, to interrupt those patterns and to make successful change. So triggers affect our eating pattern, and things like the location, where you eat, certain rooms, certain chair maybe that you eat in, maybe what activities you're doing when you're maybe watching TV, you link that to food, starting or stopping a particular activity. Maybe going to the gym, you eat more when you come home because you think it's a reward. Maybe when you do a certain hard day, then you think you deserve to go and buy things on the way home to make yourself feel better. Then maybe there's people cues, friends and families that really affect your triggers, or occasions, parties and nights out, or certain events affect what you eat. Sensory cues, smells and tastes of things, maybe smells when you go past certain shops. Time cues, a certain time of day, is it mid-afternoon or just before dinner? What is your cue? Or a mood cue, boredom, excitement, fun, enjoyment, or depression. What's yours? And what is your solution? Because you know what your solution is. What would you do if one of those is your big thing? You know what you can do that can overcome that you will enjoy and could become a new habit. Think about it now. This is a great technique that I use to break a trigger link. To attach an extremely negative association to an unhealthy food that you crave, or a situation when you pig out. A trigger will be rewired to the feeling of extreme disgust in your brain. Let's just say, for example, that if you squeezed all the fat and oil out of a Big Mac and chips, squeezed it all into a wine glass, and then you go to drink that wine glass and it's got the fat and the oil in it, would you drink it? Does that make you feel different about it? You can use really disgusting associations like vomit, pus, maggots, dead cockroaches. And in your recording this week, I've put together something that will make you think slightly differently about milk chocolate. Because milk chocolate for me seems to be the one that most clients really are addicted to. They're not addicted so much to 85% dark chocolate, but milk chocolate, particularly the cheap, nasty, horrible milk chocolate, that's what they're addicted to. The combination of the fat and the sugar is addictive, and the chocolate has that euphoric feel about it. So the recording, I won't say enjoy the recording this week, but I promise you'll feel different about milk chocolate after you've listened to it. And keep listening to it. If milk chocolate is your thing and you want to get it out of your life, everyone can live without milk chocolate, I promise you. You'll find a nice alternative, some really good quality chocolate, really strong or really nice quality, but not the cheap old milk chocolate that most people eat. Change is much easier with support, and I just want to say that doing this programme and me giving you support is really important. But I want you to make sure that you've got role models around you. Get a role model like me, someone who's lost the weight, solved the challenge that you're going through at the moment. So if this is your challenge, if weight release is your challenge, then work with someone who's actually achieved it. Don't just go to someone who knows about nutrition, who does exercise, who still eats lots of cakes. That they're not dealing with your challenge. Your challenge is your eating and maybe your activity. But just going to someone who hasn't done it themselves is not going to be helpful to you. So don't buddy up with someone who's going through the same challenge that you are, because I promise you that will not help you long term. So if they haven't accomplished it, what you want to accomplish, then they can't help you on this mission. So your action plan for this week is to focus on changing your state. Sit differently, feel differently, get that certainty. Get that feeling of being dynamic and energetic and vital, and all those things that are going to make you do it this time. Focus on changing links from pleasure to pain, so that When you listen to the milk chocolate recording, you'll know exactly what I mean. But you can do that with anything else. Is pizza your thing? Is biscuits your thing? Is something your thing that you'd really like to get out of your life? Is it going into the staff room and seeing all the cakes there and thinking, oh no, I've got to eat it because I need a bit of energy? No, you don't. Change that from pleasure to pain, and I promise you, you won't eat them again. Stop doing what you've always done to keep you fat. This is the time to make that change. Come up with new patterns and keep repeating them. Keep repeating them. Go through your 6 human needs. Identify how your needs are controlling your life and your weight. This is your time to make this and identify it now so that you can change. Avoid those eating triggers. They're easy to avoid. And then scramble your triggers with those negative associations. Enjoy this week, and I'll see you for the last session of this program. And you know where I am if you need any help. Bye.